And I just think it's important people know who they are. I mean, the chief proponent of this recall effort, the chief proponent, believes that we should microchip immigrants, that we should microchip immigrants, that we should microchip immigrants. That's the chief proponent of this recall effort. You look at the original sponsors of it. You have someone who's a member, proud member of the Three Percenters, an alt-right militia group. Others that are devout conspiracy theorists that believe in QAnon. Another that literally supports the insurrection, supported it on January 6th. That's the group. This is the sixth effort to recall. I've been here 25 months. 25 months. I know it feels like, I honestly, it even surprises me saying that. It's just been a little over 2 years. This is the sixth attempt. But they were aided by a judge that basically allowed them to close to get double the time.
Get it outside. Then they go to HomeSpace or any GM's app and they scan everything inside.
And can it only be used by people who have been vaccinated?
Only.
Yes, only
Or recovered.
Recovered. Yes.
Okay, recovery.
Test is not
no
enough?
tests.
No test.
No test.
No recovery or vaccine.
We want to
Do it here. Green passport. This is the green passport, and this is going to be the path of many countries. Many countries. So we can go inside?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So it was missing. Broken I seen. Broken I seen. Broken I seen. So it was you. So I maybe walk on my. Walk on.
All praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, rachak, wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well and labor in this word and doctrine. Shalom labachaya, meaning peace to the elect. Now you heard it. So this is a claim by Governor Newsom that the opponent, his opponent, is a proponent of wanting to microchip immigrants, aka the MOTB. You should already know what that stands for. But the opponent, his opponent, who wants to recall him, you can look into all the fancy terms. But the main part is that he's outed that a certain person proposes that they should. I said we. I was about to say we. That they should microchip immigrants, and that's out of his own mouth. Now, really, it should be short. Revelation 13 and 16, and this is talking about the beast that came up out of the earth, which you may know as the United States of America, but truly it's Babylon the Great, the divided states of Babylon. Revelation 13, 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And that mark is at charagma. The name, that's once you've been penetrated, it means his name is put upon you. That's therefore you be spiritually marrying. Of course, the dividing of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. So you'd be fornicating, well, physically, because you'd be physically penetrated by Esau Edom, but spiritually, because you bow to his idol, his graven work, and that's what you'd be bowing down to. And the number of his name, it says here 603 which is, what is it, Chai, Ksai, Stigma. And you go into them, and all of them, when you go into the actual letters, they all have a connotation, or they all connote being physically stamped, man, being chipped, having an incision, or the thing itself has been incised, engraved, or have an incision. So then that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And that shall remind you of Planet of the Apes, beware the beast man. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 and 6. And we're in that time, man, where that's being vocalized as well. This person says this, and it's, you can go in a fact checker. There was a fact checker and it said, no, it's true. Even the fact checkers will tell you, no, he said that. Proverbs 28 and 3. A poor man. Proverbs 28 and 4. They that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep the law contend with them. Reminding you of who will stand up against these evil workers, this worker of iniquity. It said, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek Yahawah understand all things. All things. It said, better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness than he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion to keep in company of riotous men shameth his father. He that by usury, which is what he does, he that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. And we're not meant to make any cuttings in the flesh according to the law. The cuttings in the flesh for the dead. While he that walketh out the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Halalyam. Proverbs 28 and 10. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in an evil way, he shall fall himself into his own pit, but the upright shall have good things in his possession. So they're trying to lay snares. But the snare will fall in his own pit. He'll be taken by his own snare. We'll get Psalm 55 and 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So if it is to be implemented in this instance, it'll be, well, no, we need to trap people, make sure they can get the health care and they can make sure they have access and we can make sure how to help them. It said, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast thy burden upon Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. So if you're doing what is right in his sight, in his obedience, and it's obviously it has to be pre-decreed, preordained, then you will be redeemed. You will be preserved from this, man. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahawah, and there shall no torment touch them. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. Just like certain ones, the Israelites. Can we go back to Egypt now? This is miserable. We seem to die here. It seems to be utter destruction. Or the Greeks, Maccabees. Is that the first chapter, I think? Maccabees, first chapter. First Maccabees 1 and 15. Hold on. There we are. Yeah, there. First Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days there went out of Yasharallah wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So that seeming to be utter destruction. We're not joining unto a chip, the mark of the beast, the MOTB, that will be utter destruction, man. That will be great judgment. And if that's for just believing in Christianity once, then a lot of Israelites are through, man. Revelation 14, 9 and 10. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahawah, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. See there, the mark of the beast is actually there. It's referred to as the mark of his name, the charagma of his name. Again, let's get a quick. Is that a delivery? Salaki. I thought I had to go to the door. Salaki. All right, Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob my servant's sake and Israel mine elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me. And no, remember, Adam knew his wife and she conceived. So known sometimes is referring to that intercourse or entering into that covenant. All right. You can check the word intercourse. I have surnamed thee because when when the Lord brought the understanding and went in unto us in that sense, then we were surnamed. So you don't want to be surnamed by the beast because you end up utter destruction, man. Right, so then wisdom of Solomon. Well, that was just a short one. I pray it was edifying. On to the next one, Lord willing. All praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Quadash.